A tremendous pleasure to be speaking with you today.
Now back to the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show on AM 800.
Okay, welcome back to the show. And before we get to Patrice, let's give away the gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company. And Lisa, you are going to give the gift card away, $50 for the Richmond Popcorn Company. Who is the winner today?
We got Robert Gross.
Robert, congratulations.
Congrats.
There you go. Producer Aaron will be in touch with all of the details. There you go. And don't forget to try out Seb's new flavor, Sunday Delight. Yes.
$50
open
of it.
till,
Woo-hoo.
yeah,
It
$50.
wasn't me again, Dan.
It wasn't you again, Kath.
Are we allowed to apply?
No. Yeah, you try every single week. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so on the phone with us, Patrice Surratt. Hey, Patrice, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Patrice.
We've got
Hi.
Hi, Kat. I didn't win either. Hi, Lisa.
Sorry. Okay, so you've got a tip today. It's all about selling a home with tenants.
Yes, not the selling part, just dealing with the tenant part.
Yes,
You guys can do
yes.
the selling. Yeah, just the logistics around selling a property, whether it's a single family home with a tenant in it or even, multis, it just brings, well, you guys could speak to it, right? It brings further complications into it, I think is a fair statement. And that kind of translates to all sorts of different, when I say complications, because it's logistics, it's harder to do showings, you have to give them 24 hours. They're not as flexible as the homeowner that wants to sell the place because they probably don't want you to sell the place.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to touch on a little bit about, some things that have been happening lately. We've actually had a very interesting scenario where it's a single family home rented, and they're refusing photography because they don't want, they just have concerns about safety. And they said, everyone's going to know what kind of stuff we have in here. We don't want our things online. So,
I've
and
seen
they
that
actually
before.
can refuse that. Yeah, right? It's just, and how do you sell it then? So now we're stuck in this whole, because everything around you, it's not like a homeowner where you tell them, tidy up, put away your personal effects, like the standard practice for selling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tenants don't follow that anyway, let alone now they don't want any of their photos online.
Well, it's like you said, a tenant will not make it easy because they don't want to leave the house.
Nope,
So
they don't wanna
oftentimes,
leave.
now, don't get me wrong. We've had a lot of great tenants over the years that have
Absolutely.
made it
Yep.
easy and worked well.
Yep.
But yeah, if you have one that doesn't want to move, they will not make that house
They
look
don't
nice.
want to move. They make it difficult for showings. We try to do the block time so it's more convenient. They don't like that. They don't like the short notice. They want the 24 hours. Very difficult on both sides. And then the homeowner, right, that wants to sell it. So what I usually try to do initially, if the homeowners tell me they're going to try, I try and have a conversation with them a little bit before about how things are going to work, right? Depending who the agent is. This is what we try to do. This is how we can help you. I'm always open for a conversation about maybe relocating them if the sale does go through, so they know they have some options, especially if they're a good tenant, right? And just kind of coach them through a little bit about what they can expect during their for sale journey. Again, some dig their heels in. Sometimes, like you said, Dan, it works out and they're very accommodating and they're very good. And a lot of times in a rental, obviously they get to stay. But the first reaction is they always assume they're going to have to move out.
Right.
And we know that's not always the case, but they feel very, their first reaction is always very defensive and panic, right? Especially this is a hot market, the rents are high, they might be leaving a very low rental amount unit, very panic stricken. So I just
as
as
a property manager, Patrice, how would you handle a situation where a tenant does not want to allow showings? Like, what would you do in that case?
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, technically we can give them notice and go in, but
we can, yeah.
like
we can.
that's not going to be.
It doesn't make for a good showing when they're standing at the door not letting you in, right?
No, sure.
So that's why we try and really kind of get them on board, we'll say, in the beginning. And sometimes I'll go back to agents and say, you know what, they're not going to be accommodating. However, they've agreed if you only do them Tuesdays and Thursdays for this time block,
sure,
they'll allow that. So it's
some kind of compromise.
We can make it better. Yeah, it's not great for you guys as agents, but it's better for the tenant, and therefore you'll get more participation, I guess, and agreement. So we try and maybe do block times, right? One lady actually in particular has, a disabled daughter, and she's like, she will not be okay with people coming in when she's home alone. Fair, right? That's a fair thing, right? So we just worked around when the daughter wouldn't be home alone so that we have very specific time blocks for showings for agents.
So Patrice,
So that
somebody
would work,
texted in asking, isn't it that most times tenants don't have to leave anyway if the home sells? Is that what I wonder if they're referring to if the home sells or just like during a showing?
Yeah.
But
well, either
I
way,
think
they don't have
I'm
to-
assuming they mean when they sell. So if someone sells a home with a tenant inside, in that scenario, yes, the tenant can be given notice to leave. They have to be given 60 days
Yes.
notice.
Yes,
Yes.
if the owner's going to move in, the new owner wants to move in. That
Yes.
happens a lot with single families.
That is
yeah,
the key.
you can
If
definitely give
if
them
they're
notice.
moving in for
Yeah.
themselves or for direct family,
for their family.
close family.
And that's what
Yeah.
usually I try and have that conversation because that's one of the scenarios, right? You may end up getting a notice. You might have to move, right? If the owner's going to move in, but you also get 60 days, right? So you've got
Yes.
time. You don't need to panic just because it closes. And, so we try and really talk them through a little bit. So nothing is really unknown and therefore scary. It's just very, we're very transparent about it. We try and talk to the agent before, they just go throw a sign on the lawn. Obviously we want to say, yep, we've tried, here's some arrangements we've made. Here's, some thought that we've given it, and most agents are really, really good, right? We all just want to
100%.
be one big cohesive team.
That's right.
And we try and make it work. Yep.
Awesome, Patrice. We're out of time, but how does everyone get out? Reach out to you if they have any questions about property management.
Yep, you can reach us at 519-252-5010 or on our website, goldmar.ca, or you can send an email to info@goldmar.ca.
Thank you. Talk to you next week or next
You're
month.
welcome.
Bye,
Okay.
Patrice.
Bye, guys.
Patrice,
Okay, bye, guys.
Patrice Surratt, owner of Goldmar Property Management. So there you go. Some good tips there. And yeah, it's always difficult, right? As you have.
It can be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
I think it's important too to remember that if you're a good tenant and you're paying a decent price, a lot of times if an investor is looking at that,
Yeah,
they'll,
they want to keep
don't-
you in there.
they'll keep you. They don't
Yeah.
want to have to worry about placement
No,
sometimes.
exactly. So there you go. We're out of time. Don't forget, if you are looking to make a move, give the Dan Gemus team a call. We're happy to come out and give you a free home market evaluation. Say hello. Well, you can reach us at 519-566-5565. You can also find us on our website at dangemus.com, DANGEMUS.com. Kathy, Lisa?
Yes, my long-term wonderful client just messaged me and he's
Yes.
listening to the show. So I want to say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And Kath and Lisa, you've been great as always.
Aw.
Thanks for joining me.
How
Oh,
sweet.
Stop.
You won, Dan.
Tomorrow, Joyce and I are broadcasting live from Open Air in downtown Amherstburg.
Yeah,
it's
we were
Play
supposed to
Amherstburg.
today.
I know, a little wet out there
Bummer.
today.
Yeah.
But Joyce and I will be out there tomorrow for Play Amherstburg. Lots of kids' activities happening starting at 11, from 11 to 4 in downtown Amherstburg. So we'll be right in front of the office and the popcorn shop. Come out and say hello. We'll be on the air from noon to 1 tomorrow. Okay, enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. We'll see y'all tomorrow and back on the air next week as well from noon to 1 here on Saturday and Sunday, right here on AM 800.